Alright, so usually this is where I do the funny intro, but I'm not doing that because every time I do a funny intro, we lose. That said, I want to thank everybody, over 200 new subscribers in the last 30 days. Outstanding job. I appreciate everybody's support. One thing I will say is that it used to be where I could get to everybody's comments and messages and everything, but I can't keep up anymore, and I'm sorry about that, and I really appreciate all the comments in the videos. I see a lot of people want me to message them or sending me messages or asking for, separate live streams and everything. I'm not ignoring you. I see you, trust me, and I do appreciate it. I do everything I can to get to everybody, but unfortunately, I have like a real job that I have to do here. I work from home, I'm self-employed, but I'm not at the point yet where I can just interact with everybody. So it used to be where I could interact with everybody. Now it's too much, but that's a good thing. That's not a complaint. I appreciate everybody's support. Now, somebody find me an assistant.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go!
Puck drop. And 3, 2, 1, drop!
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go! Go!
All right. Game 6 and then Game 7 is on Friday. We're leaving it at that. Spencer Knight, no big surprise. He's getting the call. The only real lineup change that I've seen is Yandel is out. Navarra is in. I have mixed feelings about that. Obviously, Yandel should not be playing. I'm not a big fan, like I've said, of changing a lineup to just one. But in this case, I'll make an exception. Now, that said, Navarra wasn't exactly lighting up the world either, okay? So the kid needs to play better. I saw something about maybe he might have kind of been injured in some way, but we'll have to see how that goes. Main thing is, the defense needs to play like we did period 2, period 3 the other night. Spencer Knight, we're pretty confident in the performance we're going to get from him. We just got to stay out of the box. That's the other thing, okay? We got to stay out of the box. We did last game, and you see what happened, all right? Look, the other couple things here, real quick. I've been talking to my friend Stu and Boca. I did the interview with him a couple days ago. We both have a different opinion of tonight. He feels like we need to get a goal or two from DeClaire, and I'm calling for Hagee needs to kind of step up and put a couple in the back of the net. All right. I'm excited. You excited? I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm getting ready to do the live stream here. I'm telling you. We win tonight. We're winning Game 7. All right, so it's 1-0 Tampa after 1. This feels really, really similar. Spencer Knight allows a goal again on the first shot. Not that it was a terrible goal. Uyghur's not been good. He's been extremely inconsistent. He looked like he was calming down after the last, in the last game when he got the goal. We miss Aaron Ekblad. There's no way around that. We knew we were going to miss him. But it's only 1-0 because Spencer Knight has shut the door so far. So I'm not seeing the exact level of energy at the beginning of this game that I saw at the end of the last 2 periods. Stupid penalty there, Brandon Montour. No offensive zone hooking calls. That's exactly what we can't do. Now, the only thing we can hope for is, at least it's split up so there was a minute at the end of the first period, a minute at the end of the second period. Maybe a makeup call. Maybe we get the power play. We've got to get this game tied up. We can't get down 2-0. A little nervous. We don't look as good as we did last game, but Spencer Knight's keeping us in it. It's not over. 2-0. 3-0, it's over. 2-0. Mackenzie Uyghur is having probably the worst game I've ever seen him have. That's a problem. We clearly have the right goaltender. So, I'm good with next year. I would like this year to be extended, but the only way that that's going to happen is if we get a couple of greasy goals, because Barkov and Huberdeau and Verhaeghe and to some extent Bennett are just going to continue to fucking pass the puck, and they'll run out the clock. They'll just run out the clock. We got a power play finally after Lightning make it 2-0, and we get a power play. Did we have 3 shots on goal in the power play at all? These guys, Barkov and Huberdeau, especially Huberdeau. We've talked about this in the live stream. We've talked about it ad nauseum for years here. It almost makes me not want to re-sign Huberdeau, because if he can't fix this problem, it is a Game 6 elimination. Does he have a shot on goal? I'm going to save it. But if we lose this game, it's not because we don't have talent. We lose this game at this pace, it's because our talent is not showing up. Let's get this sucker to overtime. The multitude of mixed emotions going on upstairs is palpable. Go grab a soda, get some popcorn. It's going to take me a little while. First thing I'll say is right before the end of the game, I tweeted out that our captain had 0 shots on goal until the 3rd period, and I was just curious, why I should expect that to improve, because this is 3 postseason series now, if you count the play-ins last year, and it's 3 times in a row. They ain't really done a whole lot. Apparently, that's triggered at least a couple of people. Somebody who's a Buffalo Sabres guy decided to retweet me and chirp at me. I call it like I see it, and I'm not blaming the whole thing on Barkov. That's a technique that everybody likes to use. If you bitch about one player, somebody will come back and say, why are you blaming it all on him? It's like, that's one fucking player in the one fucking tweet. Unless I say it's all Barkov's fault. It's just one of the guys. He's the captain. Elimination game. No shots on goal until the 3rd period. It's not good enough. I don't care what jersey it is, what team it is. I don't care. That's not good enough. Come on. This isn't rocket science. So whoever that was that tweeted me out, the Buffalo Sabres guy, I appreciate the attention I'm going to get, but blow it out your ass. Okay? I'm not even going to go reply to everybody, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Now, play this series again with a healthy Ekblad and Spencer Knight the entire way. We at least get to Game 7, maybe we can beat this team. Even with the ridiculous amount of overpassing, do not get me started. Okay? Unimpressed. Let's go down the unimpressed list. Carter Verhaeghe. What the hell was that? There was 6 games of nothing like what we saw during the regular season. Horrible, horrible, awful play. Mackenzie Weegar. I don't want to use the word choke, because that's an extreme, that's a bit much. But at no point during the series, with the exception of the ending of Game 5, did you appear to be a competent top pair defenseman. Absolutely crushed under the pressure. Young player, supposed to have Ekblad next to him. You kind of want to give him a pass. Tampa's pretty good, obviously. We'll give him another pass. But at the same point, dang, didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming. Completely off his game. Not quite Matheson-esque, but it wasn't good. Wasn't good. They tried to get Duclair going. Zippity-doo-dah. Vetrano was pretty much invisible the entire series. He wasn't even like running around knocking into people all that much. Just completely neutralized. And then we get to Jonathan Huberdeau. Now, at the end of the game, if you were watching on TV, you saw that they were showing long shots of Huberdeau being sad, dejected, disappointed, almost in tears. And then he was laughing in the handshake line. Now that said, I do not question Huberdeau's desire to win. But, now Barkov and Huberdeau are not stupid people. These are smart kids who are playing professional hockey at the highest level. They're not dumb. At some point in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what is this, Huberdeau's 9 year? At some point in the last decade, I'm sure a coach or 2 or 10 have said, you guys might want to stop overpassing the puck. And it doesn't get through. It hasn't gotten through. So I'm sorry, Huberdeau. Last year, maybe I could handle the head down and the upset and all of that. But this year, you played... I've not seen a player have such a disparity in their play in the sense that he played great and terrible at the same time. He had a hell of a series. Certainly can't blame it on Huberdeau. And at the same time, how many times does he get near the net and then he passes the puck instead of shoot? And all series long, Tampa Bay knew the passes were coming. I cannot count on my hands. And I have less hairs on my body. Less hairs on my body than cross-ice passes that Tampa Bay got their sticks on. Close in instead of a shot on goal. Now, and what did we finish this game with? Vasilevsky gets a 29-shot shutout. Tampa Bay had, 23, 24 shots in the first period of Game 5. Okay? Don't give me this crap where Barkov's not a problem when your captain has 0 shots in the first 2 periods of a playoff elimination game. It's a problem. I don't care that he's got 16. I don't care the name. I don't care what franchise it is. It's a frickin' problem. And if you don't think it's a problem, you don't know hockey for a half a second. Not even a quarter of a second. If you don't think the fact that he had 0 frickin' shots in 2 periods is a problem, you have a problem. Now, speaking of problems, what a beautiful disaster we have goaltending-wise in the offseason. I suppose, through sheer torturous bad luck, we're going to be forced to keep Bob and probably have a 50-50 split with him and Knight next season, unless Knight just wipes the floor with him. And I'm okay with that. Knight is still a developing goalie. He's clearly ready. But most young goaltenders who are clearly ready aren't being blocked by a $10 million backup. But it's the Panthers. So, you know, it is what it is. This series came down to a couple of things. Number one, did you notice how we played in the third period? Did you notice how we played in the first and the second period? Whoever's responsibility it is, if somebody doesn't want me to blame Barkov, whoever's responsibility it is on that team, usually it's the captain, Barkov, or the coach, but whoever's job it is on that team to, before the game, say, okay, we have to play our asses off from the beginning, from the first puck drop, not after we're down 2-0 and there's only 20 minutes left. Whoever's job that is, completely failed. Completely failed. Because if we can up our energy to the point like we were playing in the third period until Tampa made it 3-0 and we were obviously deflated. If we can play like that at the beginning of the third period, I'm thinking this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm thinking we can play like that at the beginning of the first period. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. What the hell do I know? I think Barkov did nothing wrong. So he didn't shoot the puck the entire first period and the entire second period. So what? Huh? He's Barkov. He's great because he's a great two-way player. He wouldn't be a number 1 center on Tampa. Would he even be a number 2 center? Huh? I don't know. That might be a bit of an emotional take, but whatever. We're going to burn the whole damn place down because that's what we do here at the end of Florida Panthers seasons. Now, for any of you who are up late watching this and feel like engaging on Twitter with a bunch of morons, because I'm not going to do it, please browse Twitter and see just how bad it gets in the replies to my quite tame comment about Barkov, actually. I mentioned the fact that he had no shots on goal the first 2 periods. And I said he doesn't have it. He just doesn't. And maybe he'll get it, but he's now blown out 3 postseason series. At that point, he doesn't have it. Why do we have to kiss this guy's ass? Why? He's a really, really good player. But every time he goes up against the league competition, we hear the excuse about how they smothered Barkov. Oddly, in all of those series, though, we don't hear about how Barkov smothers the other guy. How come it's always our guy getting smothered, but we still got to kiss his ass because of how great he is? Why is that? Somebody explain that to me. What else did we see this series? Notovara came in, didn't look bad today, didn't look great. Montour, not impressed, not underwhelmed. I suppose if we can manage to get rid of Yandel and there's nobody else available, we could re-sign him. But I don't think he brings anything to the team that another Vara in another year or Kierstead. It's not worth paying the guy a bunch of money if that's what it's going to take. Yandel, we've talked about that enough. Yandel already should be... Zito already should have Yandel in the office right now saying, waive it or you're toast and we're not going to play. That's just got to happen. We already know with Bob. I don't want to get into it anymore. Unless Zito can pull a miracle, that's not changing. Now, what gives us hope for next year? Maybe Barkov will see my tweet and grow a pair and train in the off season. Whatever it is that he needs to improve. Maybe it's mental. I don't know. But this is 3 times now. This is the first time you give him a pass because he was young. Last year, we're giving him a pass because it's only his second time. But this is the same player. It hasn't changed. It's the same result. The same way in the postseason. And that's my point. He keeps not playing well in the postseason in the same manner. Yes, he's an excellent two-way forward. Yes, defensively, great, outstanding. But when it comes time to put the pedal to the metal and score a goal, put the team on his back, kaputs, nothing. And literally nothing for 2 periods. So what gives us hope? What gives us hope? Well, we have a goalie. Jeez, do we have a goalie? Spencer Knight. Let's talk a little bit of positivity here, right? Spencer Knight just absolutely did everything a human being could do to keep us in this game, with the exception, obviously, of shutting us out like Vasilevsky did, which Vasilevsky, you got to give him credit. He made some great saves. It's a shame he didn't have to make 40 or 45 saves instead of 29, half of which were in the third period. You see what I'm saying? It's a shame that he spent the first 2 periods... Oh, the puck. Oh, shit. I ain't seen the puck in like 5 minutes, man. Wow. All right, you get it the hell out of here. It's a shame that happened. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me thinking our guys should shoot the puck. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. All right. I want to say I'm not going to be back tomorrow with the video. There's a lot of things I may want to do. I may want to go back over to see the series and look at some of this stuff and with a fine-tooth comb and look at things a little bit closer. Hope for the future. We obviously have a goaltender. Okay. We get Ekblad back. Okay. There's still the hope that the light will turn on inside of Barkov. Now, Huberdeau, we saw the lights turn on some in this series. Again, these two guys, they play like, it's like they're both Jekyll and Hyde. Because Barkov plays so great defensively, you can't deny that. But then when it comes time to do what your number one center needs to do, and your captain needs to do, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. All right? What do we got to give 4 chances, 5 chances, maybe? Okay. All right, fine. Huberdeau, same thing. Boy, he upped his level of play. I cannot deny that. The kid was showing every bit of heart and desire you need to show. Unless he had the puck 4 feet from the net. Then suddenly he wants to pass again. Why? Send these two guys to the same sports psychologist. Please. Maybe that's the hope. Maybe that's the hope. It's the same thing every damn postseason. So there's a problem there. No coaches. They had Gallant, they had Bugner, they had and they got Q, and nobody can get through to these guys to shoot first. Nobody. I'm telling you, fly me down, get me in the locker room. 10 minutes, I guarantee you, these guys will be fucking playing right. All right. So the season's over. Damn. Really thought we were pulling this off. If we would have played night from game 1, and I know that that's ridiculous, right? We weren't going to just play night from game 1. Let's see. Game 1 was Bob. Game 2 was Drieger. Game 3 was Drieger. To be honest with you, game 4, that was the one where maybe, possibly, we might have should have considered playing night instead of throwing Bob back out there again. The goaltending was just brutal until we got to night, which kind of shows something. I want to talk about that just a little bit. Everybody who was saying it's not all Bob's fault, it's funny how suddenly when we got a competent goaltender in net, and including Drieger with the exception of the one bad period, but let's just compare it to Spencer Knight. Let's just compare it to Spencer Knight in the first period of Game 5, where Tampa had almost as many shots in that period as we had all night tonight. Spencer Knight was absolutely lit, on fire, making the saves that you need your goaltender to make in the playoffs. End of discussion. Bob is a $10 million backup. We make the playoffs next year. I don't care if they both have a completely even record, goals against, everything is exactly the same. You put Spencer Knight out there game 1, you don't even think about it. You don't even think about it. It's not even close. I don't want to hear it. All right. So we have a goaltender. If we could somehow get Barkov and Huberdeau to stop overpassing, for the love of God. Oh, God. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I really, I'm thinking about it here. I'm trying to think about why we lost the series. In a sense, obviously Tampa's the Cup champs. They got a better team. I'm not blaming it all on Barkov and Huberdeau. But those are the guys. And I don't mind losing if we lose in a different manner. Okay? But we lose in the same damn way. It's been the same story every postseason. We're sitting there screaming at the TV, shoot, shoot, shoot. And they don't shoot. And I don't know if that's fixable. Well, I don't know if it's fixable. But if it is, somebody better figure out how. Because it doesn't matter how good they are. If this is how they're going to play come postseason, the best we're ever going to do is squeak through a round. This is not good enough yet. It's just not good enough yet. And the defense did not play well, obviously, but this game here today, with the exception of Kent McKenzie Weegar, the defense played pretty decent today. You know, they got the late goal there to make it 3-0, and obviously the empty net. But hockey is a game of emotions. Okay? Hockey is a game of emotions. This is the last thing I'm going to say. I'm tired. I want to get this done. The overpassing does more than just cost us an immediate goal on the ice. It does two things. There's only so many chances as an offense that you can get before you start to get frustrated that you're not burying your chances. That's number one. That's what happens. Overpass, overpass, overpass. Number two, most of the time, in case you didn't notice this series with the overpass, Tampa's not only getting a stick on the puck, but they're getting a stick on the puck and getting it out of the zone. So it's not just completely killing the chances, but they're turning it around in transition. And our guys are, practically behind the net, having to haul ass to get back. Uyghur's pinched in, so he's hauling ass to get back, and it's exhausting. And the other thing that does is every time that we overpass, man, the other team gets more and more and more confident that they're going to be able to beat the crap out of us. So it depletes our emotional and physical energy and gives the other team emotional and physical energy. And this is 3 postseasons. We've watched the same exact thing play out. Yes, are there goaltending issues at times? Yes. Are there defensive issues at times? But they're different. It's not the same problem over and over again. With the exception of Bob and his 5-hole. That's just for you, One Bad Steve. But the narrative of Barkov played great and Huberdeau played great, while at the same time having to look at things and go, but they continue to overpass and cost us offensive chances. That's not playing great. It's just not. That's playing pretty good with the exception of when it really counts, and then not so much. Right, that's enough. That's enough. I could go for 2 more hours. You guys are waiting for the video. I want to go to bed. Damn it. I'm sure I'll be back tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday? I'm sure I'll be back. Like I said, if anybody's still up and watches this, feel free to go on Twitter in my stead so I can take a well-deserved rest, and you guys can go on there and beat the crap out of everybody who's going to beat the crap out of me for saying the truth about Barkov. And it's not even a guy that follows me. That's something that's interesting. It's like somebody was just like waiting for me to say something. I don't know. Anyway. All right. That's it, guys. That was it. That was this season. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to try to wrap this thing up in a nicer, neater package. Get a little bit of emotional distance from it. I'm going to do 2 things over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to do a player-by-player, I don't know, some kind of grade, ranking, rating system. Obviously, I'm going to start doing some what are we going to do in the off-season type of thing. I still want to find a way to cover some of the other NHL games, but I think that'll be next week. I think right now I need a hockey timeout for 3 or 4 days in terms of watching, because this was extremely frustrating tonight, obviously. And then either catching up on the weekend or coming in the next week, I'm going to start just dabbling in the Miami Dolphins stuff. I'll do a schedule rundown and prediction type of thing and everything like that, and I'll start rolling a little bit doing that. I'm not going to do less hockey content, with the exception of obviously the Panthers aren't playing, so I'm not going to like jump on some other team and start doing recaps that way, So, all right, that was this year. Damn, that was too quick. Yeah, that was just too quick. That was just too quick. All right. I appreciate everybody's support. We got to 1,000 subscribers this year. Anybody that's still listening, I should have mentioned this earlier, but I'm gonna create a Discord for the Patreon. Even though I've never done Discord and I really have no idea exactly what it is, other than everybody says, do a Discord. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to figure that out this weekend. I'm going to do that for the Patreon. I wish we would have been going on to the second round, but we're not. So it'll probably start a little slowly, obviously. And we'll have it humming and I'll know what the hell I'm doing with it. At least by the time the next season starts. All right. Thank you all for watching. Damn it. I'll see you tomorrow.